Dear Father, I stand today just want to say thank you, Lord, for everything that you've done for me. Somebody's gonna need you, Lord. Somebody's gonna need a friend. Well, I stopped by to let you know that I know somebody that'll stick closer than a mother, somebody that'll stick closer than even a father. Well, friend, I'm talking about Jesus Christ. Yeah, thank you, Lord. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I know Jesus will never let you down. No, whenever you need him, I know he'll always be around. I know Jesus will never let you down. No, whenever you need him, oh yeah, he'll always be around. Hey, yeah. You may need a friend sometimes. There always will be there for you. Now I came to tell you today that Jesus will be there every day. 'Cause I know Jesus, he'll never let you down. Whenever you need the Lord, I know said he'll never let you down. No, 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 no. You need the Lord, he'll never let you down. Wait a minute, y'all. Yeah. Don't doubt the Lord. No, no. Don't doubt the Lord whatever you do. Don't doubt the Lord. No, no.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to I've Been Through It, hosted by Gail Davis. And you guys, I just want to let you know that anytime that you thinking something may not work, just know that it's going to work out anyway. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to go as planned, but it's going to go right. In Jesus' name, you got to just remember that. So we have two guests today. First, I wanted to thank God. I want to thank the Roscoe Media Center, Roscoe Chicken and Waffle, Johnny Morris, Keno, Melissa, Kevin, my tech guy back there, you know, he making it happen on the spot. We want to thank Crystal, and I just want to thank our leaders that make all this possible. Okay, so I have two guests today, you guys, and I'm really excited for them to tell their stories. I have one return guest and one new guest to the show, Rasheen. We're going to start off with him, and we have Raynard Collins, so we'll start with him, later on we'll let him touch on different things that he's doing right now. But we're going to start with Rasheen. So Rasheen, tell me what you was tell our viewers out there what you was telling me today. Okay, you grew up and you said, explain that about your mother and your father. Explain that situation, how you was telling me today, because I don't know if I still got it yet.
Well, being Gail, we had this conversation about my life story and how it began. So I started out with the year that I was born. I was born in 1963, and my mom and my father grew up in the same household. My mother's mother was my mother's mother, and my father's father were married. So my mother and my father grew up together as children, and when their parents started to notice they were liking each other, they ran away, moved to California from Texas, from Houston, Texas. Got married. He joined the military, and they proceeded with their life in California, Los Angeles. So my mom had a daughter from my dad, and she was 2 years old. He went away to Vietnam, came up missing for a while. She got pregnant with me by my biological father, and from there, it was all tragic after that for quite a while. It was tragic after that because in that time, men really didn't accept children that wasn't theirs, especially in the South. They grew up with their families. They grew up family-oriented, and women didn't really have children unless it was by the man that they married. In most cases, they married them before they had children. Well, when this man came home from Vietnam and found out that my mom, his long life love from 7 years old, had a baby by another man, he had a hard time accepting that. And part of the reason was because he was still a kid himself. He's only 17 years older than me. I couldn't understand that at the time, but that was the situation. And to constantly prove her love to him, she had to disregard her love for me and accept all the abuse that he put me through. Besides the point of being a Vietnam veteran, going through all that he went through in Vietnam, he definitely had psychiatric problems.
Yeah, PTSD of some sort.
And he imposed that upon me, starting.
And so when he imposed that upon you, was it like abuse, like physical abuse?
It was lots of physical abuse, a lot of physical abuse at an age that I was too young to even remember. But by the time I got older, 8, 9 years old, I was a runaway quite often, violent, took to the streets, found a place to sleep wherever I could, behind stores, broken houses, things of that nature. And as I got older, I just lashed out in a violent way to anybody because that's all I knew was violence.
Right.
And that's
Because
goes
usually
on
what's
and on.
inside is what comes out.
Yes, what's inside definitely comes out until you find a way to rationalize why and what it is you fighting, the demons you're dealing with.
Exactly. I like that. You said till you find a way to rationalize, and that's so important. So how did you begin to, tell us a little bit more, like where did that lead you to?
Well, where that led me to, being on the streets already, it led me to a life of crime. Dropped out of school in the 9th grade, did a lot of burglaries, robberies, saw a lot of pain in a lot of people's eyes, and some I can identify. I could see so deep in some of the people that I was doing things to that sometimes I would step back and I could almost feel their pain was compatible to mine. I had money with blood all over it, and sometimes I just gave it back to them after I already did damage to the situation. And went to prison at 16 for lots of crimes. Lots of crimes, trumped up charges. And the sentence was substantial, 25. But, like I said, back in them days, there was a lot of things. This was back in 1979. I was 16 years old, convicted as an adult, with trumped up charges from prejudiced officers. Forced to sign a statement in the freezing cold with no clothes on. Of course, I signed it, but I was innocent to the charges that they had me on. Nevertheless, I was sent to prison, got out in 3 years, and charges reversed. And after that, I had a daughter. My first daughter was born, and that's when I decided to try to change my life for the positive, because I had a son already, and my daughter was 3 years younger than my son. So I was 21 when I had my daughter. And I realized then that my purpose was bigger than me, and my pain, and my grief, and my anger. So I did everything I could to stay a free man, to make sure that nothing happened to her, because after all I went through, I could only assume, her being a girl, what some man or someone could have put her through. So that's when I took to a straight life, predominantly. I did things here and there, but it was a challenge. But my focus was on staying free and doing whatever it took to do that.
So your baby was your daughter. She was like your biggest motivator.
She was definitely my biggest motivator. She, inspired me to take the responsibility to be the man that I needed to be there to take care of her and the ones that followed after her.
Wow, awesome. And she's doing good now today.
Yeah, she's doing real well today. She's 34 years old, has a bachelor's degree.
Awesome.
She's an accountant. She's doing real well.
Awesome.
Needless to say, I had quite a few kids, and but my life on through that was a challenge. From that point on, it was all about learning and evolving, growing.
Okay.
So I would go to school and take up different things. I got quite a few different certificates and things.
Yeah, tell our viewers about, because you were telling me about some of your different certificates and all the different ventures that you went through.
Yeah, I always had a thing about welding. Did my research on that, went to Job Corp, took that up, proceeded that as a welder. Still today, I'm still an extraordinary welder out of Los Angeles 433 Ironworkers.
Awesome.
I moved abroad, lived in 13 states, helped build the city of Vegas since since 1996. That's the same union, same local 433.
Awesome.
So a lot of the casinos on the Strip, I helped build those as a union ironworker.
Wow.
And also got my barber's license. I'm a licensed barber. And besides that, I'm an operating engineer. So,
you turned that around.
Yeah, I turned my life around. First thing I had to do was get my GED before I could proceed with anything else.
Okay.
Because that's pretty much a requirement in almost anything you want to do.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to get into anything government, anything state, anything union, or anything that's making more than $10 an hour, you pretty much need a GED or high school diploma.
All right.
Basic education.
For sure.
And you did that, and so you left home at you say what, 9 and 10?
Yeah, but it was a back and forth thing. By the time I was 15, that's when I had nowhere to live. It was just the streets. You know, I had a couple of aunts, and another thing back in those times, a lot of women didn't work. Their husbands took care of them.
Exactly.
Right.
That is
So
true.
my aunts would get together and put their little money together that their husband gave them, you know, and try to help me get a little apartment so I'd have a place to stay. But when I say an apartment, it wasn't something that you really want to live in. It was just something that would put a roof over my head.
Right.
You know, it was a very hostile environment. You know, drug addicts, pimps, hustlers, just a room with a mattress, you know, no sheet. But, you know, I respect all people because there were women that lived in that building that would come and look after me, check on me, make sure I was alive, make sure I was still okay.
Wow.
So I never looked down on anybody for nothing, whatever they did.
Awesome.
'Cause those women cared about me enough to look in and see if the kid is okay.
Yeah,
Talk
that's
about
good.
it. That is awesome.
It
I
is a
love
good
that.
feeling to know somebody's kind of, you all right?
Yeah.
You feel all right, especially going through what you went through.
Yeah.
That would make you feel, oh, yeah, I'm okay.
I really appreciate that story because you basically still turned it around, even though the odds was all against you. You know, the abuse, the being, you know, homeless at what, 15 years old, in the streets of, not homeless but in the streets, you know, and that's a lot to turn around.
Yeah. Well, I've always been a strong person. You know, not saying I've always done all the right things. You know, I coped with suicide. I coped with depression. Never did drugs. Never been a drinker. Those things. I've always been a person that always wanted to feel empowered, feel my own power. So I never gave in to letting anything else that could control me, except for the things that I couldn't do anything about.
Okay.
So I got out of prison, started to get myself together, and from time to time I'd take jobs and learn everything that job had to offer.
Awesome.
And I would quit that job to go somewhere else because I wasn't in it just for the money. I was in it for the knowledge.
For the
I was in it for a bigger check further down the road.
Okay.
And that comes with what you know.
What you know.
So I accumulated knowledge from every place I went, And when it had nothing else to offer for me to learn, I moved on.
You moved on. Okay. So that was job experience, all this different job experience. And so right now, you're doing the oil refinery?
Right now, I'm in the chemical business. I'm in the oil refineries, travel abroad, different cities and different states, and I rig and I navigate the cranes. And it's a very dangerous environment. There's a lot of things you have to know. There's a lot of seminars and tests you have to take to get in this line of business because there's no room for error. I mean, you can damage not only the environment, but everybody around you. Yeah. And the chemicals you're dealing with is deadly, extremely deadly.
Wow. So you actually went to school for all this?
No, I did not go to school. I went to school.
So you did on-the-job training?
I did on-the-job training. I went to school for rigging and all that. But when you get into these plants, you got 4 different aspects of construction.
Okay.
You have residential, you have commercial, you have chemical, and you have nuclear. Okay. I've worked in all of them. So once you get into chemical and nuclear, it's not about the school, it's about the on-the-job and experience, hands-on.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So you definitely have to, even if you've been to school, you still would have to do the on-the-job training.
Right, because there's only so much school you can go for. You can get a degree, but the chemicals and the things that's going through these pipes, you have to know about. So you constantly, every single job you take for any one of these plants, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, wherever it may be, Shell, Texaco, you go to what they call a city council, and you take quite a few different tests. Not just tests, you watch films, you take exams. You have to pass these exams with a score of at least 80, and that pretty much lets you know, what they expect, what the conditions are, and what type of environment you really working in and how dangerous it is. So each time, for every single job, don't matter how long you've been doing it, 15 years, 20 years, you still have to go watch these films, take these exams.
You have to kind of stay up with it.
You have to stay up with it.
Because it's changes, steady changes.
Changes all the time.
Awesome.
What they call those in-service hour type stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is so awesome, Rasheen, that you see, so it's basically saying that it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you end up and how you finish. Not even finish, because you're not finished yet. You're still doing stuff, but it don't even matter where you start. It's just how you're motivated. You know, you have to be self-motivated, self-determined. So it sounds like you were all that.
Yes, I was. Yeah, those 2 of the best tools you can have is patience and determination. You gotta have patience, but you also have to be determined. I mean, one without the other is almost pointless. You know. So you gotta have patience when you're trying to get where you're trying to go and accomplish what you want to accomplish. You gotta have patience, but you have to be as equally determined as you are patient for these things to even come to light, for it to come to be.
And that is so true. It's so true, right?
Sure is.
So true, because I'm sitting here today doing what I love, and basically I had a vision board that I made up for myself, and this was like in 2007, and we're in 2016. So you have to have patience, and then eventually it will happen, and determination, right? Rasheen, determination?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And to the youths out there, you know, I know it's a scary thing. I mean, to come out of school or just growing into adulthood and, you know, have to face these everyday fears after you've been probably thinking all your life how easy this gonna be. I'm gonna step into the world, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and find out that talking doesn't make it happen. So, you know, I was a young man and I was afraid of everything. I mean, I was so afraid of what it was gonna take to make it in this world on my own that I was willing to choose suicide. I was even willing to choose a permanent home in prison because I just was that afraid. I didn't know what to do with myself. So as a young man, the first thing you want to do, if it's anything you're interested in, or female, do your research on whatever it is you want to do or be. Do your research on it. Don't let anyone interfere with that. Always have more than one option. At least have several different things that if you can't do this, maybe you can do that, whatever the conditions may be, the reason why. You need a starting point, and don't just talk about it. Take those steps. Do your research, then step into it, and don't stop until you get where you're going.
Yeah. Be driven.
Be self-driven.
Yes, I love it. I love it because
real.
that's what it's all about. It's all about teaching our young people out there what we've been through, how we made it through, and we still go through some things, but we got to a good point in our. We've been through a lot, so we can tell somebody else, and it works for them if they work it and if they listen.
Absolutely.
It works.
It definitely works.
It definitely works.
It works, and it's very, very, very helpful to be a humble person. You know, I mean, you can be strong, but at the same time, you have to be humble when it's something that you need from someone else, like advice or knowledge. You know, don't be too strong, too cocky, and resent or reject someone that's trying to help you or that can help you, especially being a man, because there's a lot to know about growing as a man.
Yes.
Besides what you can do on the streets or how you can handle women and all these things, you know, how you deal with things, how you communicate with people, how you handle yourself, how much self-control you have, you know, the right presentation in the right environment. You know, you don't bring your street presentation to a business presentation.
Talk about
so the
that.
same things, it helps to be just a humble person. You know, that's willing to grow.
It helps to be a humble person that's willing to grow. I love that because it's so true. It's been tested, right? It's been tested, tried, and it's true. It's best to be humble. It's best to listen and, you know, not think of ourselves too big, you know. Yeah. So I really, really like that. Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk some more, you guys, because this conversation is very interesting.
Very.
Rashad, I am so thankful that you just like really sharing and you motivating somebody out there.
Oh, well, that's real good to know.
Yeah, you are. Somebody is listening. Believe me, somebody exactly what you're saying is exactly what somebody out there need to hear. It could be young or old. They don't even have to just be young. They could be older, younger, whatever. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, you guys, and we're gonna come right back. And thank you to our sponsors, Pitbull.
Thank you.
So many ways I can't believe. Hey,
Thank you guys so much for coming back with us. I've been through it, hosted by Gail Davis, and we have our guest Reynard, and we have Rasheem here. And you guys, this is all about motivating, okay? Motivating each other, helping each other, getting to solutions, and finding out, okay, how can I make myself better? Or how can, you know, I be motivated to do something different with my life? So, Reynard, so what are you doing now? You're doing some more stuff with your music. You're doing more stuff helping your son with his music and everything. Tell us where you're at right now.
Well, pretty much, me, myself, I'm still helping my son get his, well, he's actually got it going. His songs are on the radio. He's getting airplay.
Okay.
And we're going through tours and doing that. But right now, we're working on an album together.
Okay.
And we kind of like keeping it close to vest because it's real scientific right now what we're doing. But we are constantly thriving to inspire each other. Now, this is the beautiful thing about this, and hearing this brother's story. Okay, me and my son's relationship kind of grew into where it is now, because when he was 8, you know, there was like, where is he? You know, the baby mama drama kind of thing went down.
Right.
And when he got 8, I put it in his ear like, you always in my life, no matter where you are, what's going on, or where I'm at. So he took that to heart. Okay. And he's grown into be this significant young man.
Awesome.
I'm proud of.
Awesome.
You know, he's taken my advice where he has to, and he's also cut his own path to do his own thing. And, you know, the music is what we do. We love that. That's kind of innately put in us.
Yeah.
But we do have other ventures we're looking into. He works for the post office right now.
Awesome.
And, you know, I work for myself through Hip Hop Optimist Entertainment. But at the same time, what we have done over this short period of time, and like I say, since 8 to now, he's 28 now. So it's been a 20-year span of us just bonding, which is awesome because I got to spend Super Bowl Sunday with him, right? So I got to be the granddaddy in the house. That was kind of funny. And
nice.
It's all these kids in here. It's like I feel like I was in a nursery, right? It was funny. It was beautiful, though, because all of his friends, there were several other gentlemen there with their kids. The women left the guys. It was just all men there with kids. We were the babysitters.
I like it.
Yeah, and we were all there, and I was the senior in the building, so I got the, you know, a little seniority. But it was funny because all the kids, it was just so awesome how all the kids kept coming to me. I guess because I'm the senior, and they were showing me, look, and it was like, wow. And so it was just kind of, it was an overwhelming good feeling. But my grandson took the cake because he was so just grounded. All the other kids, you know how kids are when they go, he hit me, yeah. My grandson, he came in there only 2 times out of that whole Super Bowl time that game was on. And he had his little problem, but it only happened twice. But it was beautiful to see how he handled it. Because I was expecting a tantrum, a little selfishness, mine. He went through it. He kind of like, okay, y'all gonna play with my stuff. And then you go in his room, it's like, where to step without stepping on a toy. You're gonna hurt your foot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. So I was telling my son, I was like, your son, your grandson, my grandson, is totally focused on what he wants to do. Awesome. Everybody was in his room playing. He gets my son's iPhone. My son unlocks it for him. He gets on the iPhone and sat there for a good hour and 30 minutes doing, and I'm looking at him do this. Now the baby's only 2, you know, so he's maneuvering and just working that thing, and I was like, wow.
You know, these babies are coming out with technology in their brain.
Yeah, we didn't have that. We had rotary dials. You had to dial. Exactly. He was using that phone as better than his dad or myself. But I'm saying all that to say this: the camaraderie of my son and his son is a part of that same thing me and him has bonded to get, because we have a camaraderie. He texted me this morning, hey son, Dad, do you know this song? We're getting ready to kind of get into some wedding planning things, and we're going to be doing weddings. And he's going to sing, I'm going to accompany, and we're going to, you know, kind of use that as an avenue to generate income. Because it's all about, like this brother was saying, Rashid was saying, you kind of got to know you want to do something. You can't sit around waiting on somebody to hand you something. The go get a job is always the ambition of all Americans. That is important. But if you got something special that you know you can do, drive into that training. Yes. Find out. The stuff he's talking about with using I've done the construction from the residential and the commercial side. Okay. And from the military side, I understand it from those other parts of it. But it's nothing like knowing what you can do and trying it. You know, if you got a little, I can do this, well, make sure you trained in it and well-versed. And the research is a must.
It's a must. I like that.
I did so much research to get where I'm at right now. I mean, it's like homework, but it never was homework to me because it was like, I want to know this.
Okay.
So I had to go and read the book. I had to go sit down in the lectures and the seminars. And sometimes we hear people, you know, go to these seminars and, that's a bunch of wasted time. No, actually, for the people who are ambitious and driven, that's perfect for them, because that's like another gearbox for you to change gears when you get in your new lane to accelerate to get to where you're going, because it's a part of the whole mechanism of moving yourself. Be motivated. Stay, I think I can, and we always heard that once when we were young. But that has to stay in you as an adult, because society will beat us down sometimes, and we get discouraged. Yes. Do not be discouraged by who you are, where you come from. That is a part of your strength. Because when you get to look in that and say, well, I still got to survive, and I still got to provide, whether you have kids or not, you got to eat. You got to keep food on your table, and you got to keep shelter on you. You're going to be driven to get that. Yeah. Sometimes I've been down some of them avenues he went down too. I hate now I sit with this over my head. I got that jacket of society didn't put on me, but I refuse to wear it. Yeah. I took that off and put on a spiritual hat. See? I walked in another lane, and I wavered the fence, but if God said, if you neither hot nor cold, he'll spew you out his mouth. So I got my act together and said, look, I'm gonna get what I gotta do done. So now all my children, I'm grateful for every last one of them. Amen. Because now as an adult and I see them growing up, some of the stuff I told them, I see they heard it. And they listened. Now they kind of tweaking it to their own, working it, but it went in and it didn't get out, and it's like that is embedded in us all. We all need encouragement from somewhere. Okay. This brother said he was encouraged when people came, hey, how are you doing? Checked on him. That feel good. You remember when I was on the show when I went through that homelessness, and that was like, woo! I was a grown man. I wasn't a young man. I was grown. Going through it, and that's a different kind of energy at that point, because society look at you whole off, wrote off, and set off. And you got to change your mindset. Right. And my mindset to anybody out there, if you going through anything, believe that you can get through it.
Believe that you can get through it.
Because there is a purpose for you going through it. Yeah. It's going to build some character in you. You're going to learn some things. You're going to learn how to become better. More patient. Patience is a virtue. It is a must. Because everywhere we go, we got to stand in a line. We got to be in a line somewhere. That takes patience. You go to the post office right now, you can't just go in and just walk out unless you're just mailing a letter. See? And that's it.
You're going to have to stand in line. So it's patience. It's all about patience. And what did you say? Research? What did you say, Rashad?
Patience and determination.
Patience and determination. And I add to that.
I like how both of y'all said the research.
The research is the homework. That's opening that book in your mind to understand the information you're trying to get. So you can be, hey, I'm on my way. I get this. I got this. On top of the game. So when you get the ball, you know what to do with it. You're going to make the shot or you're going to fumble. And in this world of life, life is not a game. I will say this to everyone. This is not a game. We cannot restart. We cannot reset. But we can retry and rethink things.
All right. Like if we make
that
a mistake,
is where we can
take it over again. Like it's a mistake, so we could actually take it over again.
Yeah, you might not pass the test on the first go round for that city job or that government job. Go back and take it. Go do your homework and do your research. Brush up on your skills and do that. It's always about tuning oneself up to kind of fine tune, to get yourself in tune to get to where you got to go. And sometimes you got to cut people off.
Oh, talk about that.
Where the people who might be trying to ride on your coattail or on your bandwagon and fly in on your landing strip, it ain't for them. The red carpet wasn't for them that day. Them photo ops that you got is for you. And this is where a lot of people sometimes we bandwagon and coattail. It's really not about that. It's about knowing where yours is and getting yours and driving for it. Because
finding your passion and doing your passion too in life. Because then it didn't make it not even a job. It's not even a job. It's a passion. It's a love.
And what you saying that to me, life is my passion. Living life to the fullest. I've been there, done that, and I've lived it on the bottom. See? And I know this for a fact, that when I was on the bottom, I didn't think I was going to stay there. I could have threw in the towel. There was a couple of moments in my brain, oh, man, what's going on? Yeah. I'm going to go lay under this bridge by the train and just eat out of tin cans and scraps of whatever. But then there was another side of me that said, what are you talking about? Where are you? What? And then I had to go to some of my elders and ask for some some advice.
Yeah.
Ask for some wisdom, because I didn't have it at the time. I was being dumbfounded. Like he said, he was going to commit suicide once upon a time. That comes across you when you kind of down in that shelter, but never, ever commit to that, because that's a permanent solution to something that's temporary right now. Because when you come over it and you get out of it, now you've achieved so much, where if you would have cut off your life, you couldn't have got to your successes and your achievements. You cut them short. So God is not with that, and your family ain't with that. Don't nobody want to cut nothing short. That's like, you know,
it hurts your family.
It hurts, really hurts the family, because they be like, what? You know, so yeah, we gotta keep striving and striving. And I say this to all you people out there: any motivation you have, keep it. Don't let nobody discourage you and say, oh, you can't have that, you can't do this. And when I get back to the point of sometimes you got to cut things off, cut people off, because they're not going where you are going.
Yeah.
They're level C and you're level A.
Wow. And level C and level A is two different levels.
Yeah. Have you ever drove in a carport and drove up that thing? You either on the first level or the top level. And your car, you can't go come out that mall and go to level C and your car is on level A. And you ain't gonna get in your car and go home. You will look for the rest of your life if you don't go to the right location where you're supposed to be.
Wow,
So I learned, it took a few hard knocks. My brother used to tell me, what, it take a ton of bricks to get knocked on your head for you to get it? I guess it did. But some woke me up.
Hard-headed, some of us, yeah.
It woke me up. Hey, and then in a nutshell, this scar of life, that was it right there. That told me right there. I know who got my back now.
What scar is that?
This military. This comes from Iraq and Afghanistan, all that old.
Really? Okay.
This is a life scar that I live with. Doctors make the cut worse than what the injury was, but I'll take that. It's healed now. But that was when I knew, at that moment, I have to make an aggressive move, because I did something for the country. Even though they ain't really did too much for me. Peace to America, though. I love this country. I love this country. Hey, it may not be the best place you see, but it's the best place in this world to be. And I say that for this one reason. You could have one idea and turn that one idea into $1 billion corporation.
Talk about it. And
you couldn't do Apple, Steve Jobs, in the garage.
Yes. Talk about it. Yeah.
So it is doable here. It ain't no skin complexion. Fubu, the dude on Shark Tank, the brother there. There are people that want more from life than what life offers them. So you have to find out how to, like I say, find that gear to accelerate yourself. And warp speed to that. And cut off all people that don't want to be a part of your success. If they hating, sorry, I gotta move forward. If they're holding you back, if they're stumbling blocks for you, pray and move on. Because it's all about the growth. Getting up Mount Everest is always dangerous. But it's the challenge of trying it that makes you do it.
Wow.
I can do it. And that I can do it, Obama put it in the nation once. Yes, we can. Anybody can. Yes, we can. Yes, you can. Do what you must do to better you. Educate, re-educate, whatever it is, tweak, turn, whatever the knowledge is. Knowledge is power. That's the key to the door. When people know you got the knowledge, you got the work. This brother getting work because he got the knowledge, and he ain't just start this. He strive to get to it, and he went through some stuff.
And you did the research, huh? And not only that, Rashad, you said that you actually did a lot of different jobs just to get the knowledge of, and then you would move on to another one.
Yes, I do. I did that. I went to truck driving school, and I did that for a while, cross country. Wow. And I seen what that consists of. I learned everything it had to offer me. I mean, it showed me how to be an independent trucker. It showed me how to be a company driver, you know. But the thing was, that wasn't for me because it took me away from too much of the things that I appreciated. Then it take you away from your family.
It definitely do.
It takes you away from everything, you know. And so that wasn't quite for me, but I enjoyed doing it while I did it. And I only did it for a year just to really see what it was about.
But that's cool, because until you find your niche or whatever it is that you God has for you, or whatever it is that you really want to do in your life for yourself, you definitely have to just try your hand at different stuff. And then once you find your lane, stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I kind of like stay in my lane about certain things. You know, Rashad, you see me out there selling books, right? Well, that's how we met. Me selling books, and I kind of just stay in my lane. It works for me, right?
Yeah, that's real good.
And if it works for me, then if it ain't broke, why try to fix it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Unless you're gonna make a new one.
See, I'm
a
gonna
new
do
book.
I'm gonna do a new one because everybody's on me. I'm gonna do a new one. So, Raynard, yours is music.
Yeah, that's my passion. But outside of that, I also love to do the contracts. This is what I went to school for, to do contracts for a recording contract. But the record business has changed. The game has changed. They're getting ready to go back to vinyl because of what the streaming does. Streaming is fine. I have no problem with anybody getting it out there. Okay. My thing is this. Just let the artists that create the music get paid fairly.
Okay, talk about
that's the only thing I have, so that's, with the music game has changed. It's like, okay, I got to be so hands-on now. Yeah. I can't allow corporate America to say, okay, we're going to tune your career to this and you're going to be this or this. This is not the era of, Star Child, David Bowie, when it was easy to become a superstar. Right. Now you got to do everything that you really don't want to do to get it.
You got to do the writing, producing.
And you be like, and then if you draw your line in the sand, like, hey, those are boundaries I don't cross. Those are barriers I don't get with. Then you may have to sit the sideline of this game out. Well, guess what? I'll sit the sideline of the game out until I start my own team. So that's what I did. I took the music and started my own company and have elevated. Now, this is what I love to tell people. A lot of people say, why do you tell them that a lot? I motivated so many people by doing this. I didn't even know I was doing it until they came and told me. Said, man, when you would be up there practicing on them drums or on them keyboards or singing for 8 hours a day, every Saturday for 8 years, that motivated them. That was discipline. I could have been out there playing, running around, being a kid. Right. But that wasn't my motive. I wanted to learn my craft as an instrument. That's why I play more than 12 instruments now, because I learned how to understand the instruments years ago. Music has changed. You can point and click and get a beat now. But guess what?
What'd you say?
I'm going to tell you like this. If you play for a Philharmonic anywhere in the country, you're making more money than some of these artists that are on the stage recording. Doing studio recording. Now, if you're on tour, you're making your money if you're that marquee artist. Right. But the Philharmonic pays decently and fairly. Right. And they are a union. And that is not broken up. You're playing violin, strings, or whatever instrument you play, strings, whatever, woodwinds, brass, it doesn't matter. Right. Those Philharmonic musicians live very comfortably. So I've been looking in, getting back into classical music, even though that's not the mainstream of music, but it pays well because the ticket prices to those shows are not like the ticket prices to a regular Taylor Swift or Beyonce concert. Those ticket prices are high end always.
Always.
No matter where you sit, in the balcony, nosebleed, or in the front row, all those seats are expensive, and there are no variances.
Exactly. You guys, so this is Black History Month.
Yes,
so is there anything, Rashad, that you would like to say, geared towards Black History Month? Because, we've been through a lot as a people, right? Yes. We've been through a lot as a people. So is there anything that you have to chime in on Black History Month?
I've thought about our history, the Black History Month, and the history of our people. And I've noticed some things about our people that we can contribute to ourselves and our communities. We have a lot of negativity. We got a lot of bad energy. We got a lot of outsiders that look down on us for how we communicate and conduct ourselves between each other.
Yes. Talk
Very
about
true.
that.
Very true.
We don't respect each other at the level that we should. We tell our kids, don't take no crap off of your kid. And as long as we telling our kids these things so that they can never come together with the same mindset, we're gonna always have division between us.
Wow.
We need to tell our kids that tell that kid, we don't have to do this, man. We are one. We won. We don't have to do this. You know, we can. And so I think that adults, positive adults, should spend more time. I mean, I think we all have a purpose to evolve and grow, to live, to be, to exist.
Exactly.
So we should go to community events, just like you offered me and invited me here, right here in LA, to come in and speak.
Right.
I think we should do the same thing in parks and different gatherings, and I think the people that's in better positions, that's more recognized, should come back into the community and do the same thing.
Talk about that.
Yes.
What he's saying is some of the celebrities out there that would like to come on. I've been through it, hosted by Gail Davis. You guys call the show or call me at 661-575-4311 or call the show at 323-965-1600. Okay, so you guys can come on and come back into the community, right where it started at, right?
Come back into the community, show some love to your people. I mean, it's not always about money. A lot of times it's about encouragement
and inspiration. That's it, inspiration.
Inspiration, and you know.
Exactly, an inspiration. That's what I'm talking about.
Because if you got more positive people to relate to, that's less negative that you have taken up that positive area.
Space, exactly.
And that's what we want to do. And little by little, I think that can change some communities.
I agree. I want to interject there too, because that is so powerful what he just said, because that is something that we need and must. Growing up, when I grew up, this was in the 70s. I remember I could look 1, 2, 3, 5 houses down the street, and there was a state person who worked in government lived down the street from me. And he ran for office monthly, yearly, however they do that. But that was inspiration right there for my household, and we all kind of looked to that family like, that's a pillar of the community. But not only that, that inspired me. That's why I became inspiring the way I did. I didn't know until those young men came back and told me this. Hey, man, you were inspiring. And I like, really? I just was doing me. I didn't, you know, and there were moments I would stop rehearsing and I'd hear applause outside. I'd look out the window and there's like 9, 12, 24 people out there.
And you didn't even know.
And I didn't even know that. I didn't know I was motivating them like that. They would stop doing what they were doing. But this is something I wanted to inject to that, what he was saying about the youth. And I'll tie this into that Super Bowl story I had with my grandkids and all these other kids. I only had my grandson there, but the other kids were there, and they were doing their thing. We did do just what he said. Identify with the kids, not to misbehave, and to work together, play together, and share. And that became the collective conversation.
I like it.
But it was so powerful that the kids kept coming to me.
Right.
And they wouldn't go to their daddies right there, you know, but they came to me. Can you tell him not to hit? I was like, what? What did I do? I just told the kids to behave. I went in there a couple of times. You guys having fun? Let's keep having fun and enjoy each other. No fighting, no crying, no whining, just fun. That was my motivational speech for them that day at the Super Bowl. So they would quit running back and telling on each other. But they eventually got it. And then when my little man got up and said, I don't want no more parts, I just want an iPhone and sit still, he was sleepy and he eventually went to sleep. But the kids must know that they must inspire each other and work together. And speaking on the celebrities coming back, I can say this for a fact. And it kind of surprised me, but I'm grateful for it. Kendrick Lamar does. He comes back.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome.
Dr. Dre comes back. People don't know.
Oh, well, I have.
There's little things. There are things.
He needs to come on this show. So I can show him the
he's building some foundations and some endowments now that are going to open some doors for a lot of people. And Kendrick Lamar is building on that. And he's in the Nixon Gardens, the projects, in Compton on a regular. Even though he did 12. No, he got nominated 11 times. If he'd got nominated one more time, he'd have been on a Michael Jackson plateau.
Wow.
Michael Jackson got nominated 12 times, won 9. Kendrick Lamar got nominated 11 times and won 5.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that was powerful in itself. And his performance on that show kind of made everybody go, what is this? But he's an aware man. He's aware of who he is, where he come from, and he's not ashamed of it. Right. You can't be ashamed. You see, we know where we been, but we don't know where we going.
Talk about that.
You cannot be ashamed of where you come from. You know, I'm not ashamed to say I came from Willowbrook, Compton area, Watts, because I tell people to this day, there's more millionaires come out of Compton than anywhere in the city of Los Angeles.
See,
people don't even know this.
See, and you know, we do have celebrities that's actually giving back and everything, but just come on a show like this. This is like an everyday people show.
Right,
you know
yeah.
What I'm saying?
Come down back to earth, to the earthlings down here.
Like this.
Come off your hiatus.
Share what positive things that you're doing in what community, so people will be aware in that community. Because sometimes, even though the celebrities are in a certain community, the whole community may not be aware of it.
Right, they're not, unless there's, like he said, that interaction of information, where there's that sharing of information. I mean, because we do it every year in October with the Taste of Soul. That's big. Really? That's like LA's Mardi Gras down here.
Yeah. You know what? I have to get down to that. I have to go to the.
That is huge. One time. We're talking 350,000 African American.
Yes.
In unison. No negative. It's all beautiful and positive.
I never heard nothing bad about it.
And this has been going on for 9, 10, going on 12. This will be 12. This year be 12.
That's
no bad stuff. All good stuff. And that's a beautiful thing. That just goes to show you what people think about us is stereotypical and fed to them through certain avenues. It ain't necessarily so, as they used to say.
Them. I like what you said.
It ain't necessarily so. You'd be so surprised when you get around other nationalities and they expect something from you that might be off the norm. Yeah. And then you be just as normal as them and just as grounded and focused and on top of it. They be like,
dang, man.
I didn't ever, and then they'll come have this, I didn't know about, and then I'll hear this you people conversation. I'll have that with them, but I let them know, hey, but you can't judge the book by a cover. You give a brother a chance to do what he got to do, he's going to provide and do it. See? And I don't think that goes for anybody outside of this earth. Everybody wants to belong and participate and do something. All we got to do is quit saying one generation or one population really runs everything, because, the white man runs everything. No, he don't.
No,
he started a lot of stuff, but civilization started in the cradle of Africa, and we all know this, and science and archaeological people and anthropologists have all confirmed, the cradle of civilization come from Africa. So that speaks volumes to me now, still. Right. That's why I love, the power of blackness, unity, and strength, and sharing and giving that. We got to do it together, because with that one little, I have to say it, a little leaven to hold on.
See?
So we need all the ingredients in the pie to make the cake universally delicious to the whole world. Where everybody got it, because everybody want a slice of what we got anyway. They try it every time they get, and we got to try a little of that, put a little. They get a little stripe of blackness in them somewhere. Yeah. So we should be proud as black people. I say this to all of us, and I say this to anybody. Be proud as a human, as an American, but as a black American, be proud. And this is Black History Month. We deserve more than a month because we invented civilization. If those that didn't know, I'm sure you guys heard it over time. I mean, everybody then got this information over the long run. But being that we started a lot of this stuff and other people took credit for it, and took the patents on it and got the copyrights before we did. Because we wasn't, in them days, sometimes we were prevented to know or get the information to know where to go. And some of us feared. And that fear can freeze you and immobilize you and make you just, I don't know what to do. I can't do it. And that will stop your whole success.
And some of us were just blocked from not being able to take that patent on, because nobody would deal with us. No, we're not. Even you go to the patent people and they're not even gonna let you do it anyway. Not back then.
Not back then. See, but now it's different, because I didn't put in some patents myself on some things.
Yeah, it's different. We're doing a lot of stuff now, and so I just like what you guys are chiming in on, and I just want to say shout out to Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying?
Malcolm.
You know, and some of our
Medgar
people
Evers and all those civil rights
people that came before us. You know what I'm saying? And
they
even
was
some
brave.
of today's people, like I know Brother Jamal Brown. He's doing Black 365 calendars. And these calendars, you can look on the calendar 365 days a year and see something that we have contributed to society.
Bingo.
Right?
That part right there.
And it's a website, actually. It's like 365, www.365 Black Calendar.
Okay, I will be looking into that.
Yeah, and he's a young brother doing this, you know what I'm saying? And so we have some positive people, but I like what both of you guys were saying about we need to start teaching our children, our grandchildren,
because that's the future.
To be positive with each other.
Yes, that was my main conversation on
like
Super Bowl Sunday.
People are Rasheem, I'm sorry. I said Rashad, but Rasheem, what you said is like people are looking at how we deal with each other.
And he's right.
People look at how we deal with each other.
How we deal with each other. You guys,
they pay more attention to how we deal with each other than we pay attention to ourselves.
I
wow,
mean,
and also I just want to say, you know, I'm a very analytical person. I analyze things a lot from broad perspectives. Mm-hmm. We have took the lead in all sorts of things. Right. But the problem we have is dropping the baton. It's almost like a race. We don't pass the baton to the next person to continue where we left off. I mean, we have took the lead in physical fitness. We have took the lead in fashion. We have took the lead in a lot of amazing things. Dancing, I mean, we are marked and copied by everyone else. But then, I mean, what we need to start doing is whatever it is we know or do so well, we need to take 10 people under our wing and show them or teach them and let them take 10 people so we can expand. Mm-hmm. And we won't have to worry about who fell off because somebody picked up the baton that knew as much as you did because you taught them to carry on. So if I know something and I don't teach anyone else and my life stops right now, that's the end of it. I dropped the baton.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyone can pick it up, and that's what happens. You know, so we gotta start to not hold on to what we got to stand out from the rest, but share what we have so that we can evolve as one unit.
That.
Exactly.
And
I call it growing the forest.
Growing the forest.
Yep. Because when the forest is grown, you can see the forest before the trees now.
See?
You can see that we can become legendary, which we have been doing from day one. I had a fifth grade teacher, Mr. Powers, God bless him. He was the first teacher I ever had. Told me some of the things about what black people had did. And these things were not supposed to be taught they weren't in our books.
Exactly.
They were not in our books. Exactly. These were things he would come and, hey guys, I'm gonna tell you, he would tell us, don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
Because I could lose my job. But he would tell us stuff about stuff, and it was each one teach one, and he was a Black Panther in his day. And this was in the 70s, and we looked up to Mr. Powers. Dr. Dre, remember him too. I know we could have this conversation on a one-to-one, and he'd be like, yeah, Mr. Powers was an inspiration to a lot of us. Because he kept us focused on who we were and what we did as a people. And you know, it was, you know, Malcolm and Martin,
the Black Panther.
The Black Panther. But that was a powerful movement, and unfortunately, it got dissolved into something that become this gang movement, which we have no love for each other now. Back then, it was all about love for the community and one another. So, you know, love is a powerful thing, and like he just said, we need to pass the baton. Don't drop them. And I said, don't drop the ball. Catch it. Make the score. Score the touchdown so people can celebrate. Okay, they'll dab on you or dib, whatever you want to call it. Get your dib on.
See, and I like what you saying too, Raynard. You saying love is a powerful thing. And with that, on that note, we're going to be signing off because our hour is gone. It go by so quick, right?
Yeah,
but love is a powerful thing, you guys. Pass the baton. Don't drop the baton, okay? Pass it. Do not drop it. And I just want to thank you, beautiful people, for tuning in to I've Been Through It, hosted by Gail Davis. You guys come and tune in to us every Monday at 4 o'clock, okay? And you can find us on rmconair.com. Just go to YouTube and look up any shows. We have so many different shows, you guys. Roscoe's Media Center is coming. It's a big thing. It's coming really, really big worldwide. So check out all our shows, you guys, and thank you so much. Come back every Monday at 4 o'clock. I've been through it, hosted by Gail Davis, and thank you. Thank you to my guests. Thank you guys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys so much, and you guys come back anytime. I want you guys to come back, okay?
Absolutely.
And you guys come back too, beautiful people.
All right.
For me, know what he did? He lifted me.